Oh, YouTube. How's it going? How's it going? You know what? Is it already November? It is. And I haven't given you guys a top stocks to watch for November 2019. Well, shoot, you know what? Let's just take this coat off and let's get to work. Let's get down and dirty today as we talk about the top stocks that I'm going to be buying and selling November 2019, all today on Young Money Investments. All right, you guys, so it is another month and it is time to talk about some of the stocks that I see as a potential buy, but I'm also going to be talking about a few stocks that are topping out. They're kind of up here at the top. And it looks like they could probably use some put options against them, or they could look like, potentially taking some shorts on them. Today, I want to talk to you about these charts. I want to talk to you about 5 stocks that I'm going to be buying and selling all this month. And I think let's start off here with iRobot, or ticker symbol IRBT. All right, you guys, so taking a look here at ticker symbol IRBT, you're going to go, Cameron, this sucker is so sold off. There's no sign of a potential uptrend. And let me start off by saying this about iRobot. This is a vacuum company. Obviously, they make those little little Roomba things. They like go around and basically suck up all your crap. So technically, as it says here, iRobot Corporation is an American advanced technology company founded in 1990 by 3 members of MIT's Artificial Intelligence Lab who designed robots for space exploration and military defense. But as you can see, some of their top products down here are obviously Roomba vacuums. So taking a look here at the charts on iRobot, obviously like I said, you can see where they have sold off after earnings. And right now, this is where we really do want to zoom in and focus on. They've seen from their low of lows, they've seen a run up of about 21%. Now, I'm not going off of just the fact that it is up 21%, but I'm going off the fact that if you zoom in over here from where they previously dropped, they only rebounded about 8% before curling over. This was definitely not a pattern where they were actually getting a very good bounce. It was very stagnant, very stale, and this chart pattern continued down. So taking a look here on the 20-day chart, as you can see, they recently had earnings and definitely did not have the greatest of earnings. With that being said, to keep it really short, simple, and sweet, to the point, one of the biggest things with this is that the PE and forward PE, taking a look at some of the fundamentals of this particular company, are fairly good. Now, have obviously the sales numbers fallen off? Absolutely, but do I think that because of their competitive advantage they have in this space, because of some of the different things that they have that some of their competitors do not, which I don't want to make a whole video just about IRBT right now, I believe that this stock has a lot of upside potential. With that being said, do I have some buys and some sells? Absolutely. As you can see right here, I have a channel. I believe it is currently kind of in this channel pattern. If we can see it down here, right at about 49.50, 49.63, I will be looking for a buy. Obviously, I'm not going to be taking full size or anything like that. I would love to pick up a little bit more down here, actually towards about the 47.75 mark. This would be a nice little pickup for me because that offers just to the upside about a 9% potential for profit, coming up here to where this has previously cupped up and kind of topped out. Another reason I like iRobot, as you can see right here, is it is forming a cup and handle basically chart setup right here. This is a bullish technical indicator. This is something I believe will obviously help to kind of consolidate things a little bit, give me a buying opportunity, and then watch us continue to ride up. Now, one of my things with IRBT is that this is more of a long-term swing trade. If I can make some money up in the short term, hallelujah. But if I do not make money in the short term, what am I going to do? I'm going to hold this for probably a couple months or so. So this, if not more, this is more of a swing trade that is long term. I see the fundamentals being very positive on this company. So like I said, if I can make some good short-term money on this, great. All the power to me. I'm happy about it. But it's very hard right now in this market to find good deals like IRBT. Oh, and if you're asking where I would be looking to take my first little bit of profits on a swing trade, oh yeah, I should probably mention that too. I'd be looking to take profits first right here around that $54.81 up to $55, and then take my next little bit of the position off right here at about $58.25. Now, here's a ticker that I have been very bullish on probably about 2 years ago. I'd say about a year and a half ago, I was extremely bullish on ticker symbol CAT, also known as Caterpillar. Now, Caterpillar is a great company. It just recently posted earnings. It had a beat on earnings, and it has obviously pushed up to the moon. With that being said, let's take a look at the chart pattern so you can see a little bit of the inner workings of my mind. And one more thing that's super interesting about the chart pattern and this company in particular is if you smash the like button, your trades go a little bit better. Now, taking a look here at the chart pattern on CAT, you can see that it was obviously for quite some time over the past year stuck in this channel pattern, basically having lows down here of about $118 or so. Yes, we had a low of 111 down here on a very big pullback, and then kind of topping out here roughly at about $140. That offers, usually if you were swinging this, a potential for return of about 18.35%. Now, if we take a look here on the 180-day chart, we can see that there has been some outliers and kind of a push up right here to about $144.90, $145 in previous patterns in previous history here on the chart back in about late April of this year. With that being said, because the RSI is so overextended here, the MACD is indicating that it is starting to kind of curl and kind of cross right here. These are all signs that this is due for a little bit of a pullback. Now, because of this, I am most likely going to be taking a short position. I'm not a huge fan of long-term options. I'm not the greatest options trader. I'll be the first to admit that. Am I working to get better? Heck yes, I'm working to get better. But in terms of doing a swing trade with options, I like to swing trade options that I am selling as opposed to options that I'm buying. What that means is I'll be looking to actually short cap up here around this $145, $146 price point, and then kind of write it down at least down to about this $140 mark, if not more. Probably cover a little bit of my position and then see if we can continue to see that ride down. That offers me roughly, just for that first little bit, about a return of about 3.5%. And then if we can continue to see this thing sell off to the level that I would like to get out at, we're looking at about a return of about 5.8%. Again, nothing huge, but definitely a nice little swing trade that can return some good, generous profits. The other thing that'll help tremendously, if we do see the SPY take a little bit of a nosedive, and it's dying to do that. It needs to do that. Like you don't understand. It needs to pull back. All right, you guys, next ticker that we are going to be talking about is ticker symbol UBER. And by the time you watch this video, the charts could be drastically different. I'm currently filming this here on November 5th. As of tomorrow, November 6th, the lockup on shares is going to be over. What that means on Uber is that 80% of the shares that are currently locked up by private investors as well as company management will be available to be traded on the market at least for the next month or so, as far as I'm aware. So while Uber has had a massive sell-off, as you can see over here on the charts over the past 180 days, Uber very well could continue to have a sell-off. Now, Uber didn't do necessarily bad based on its earnings. I actually sat through the entire earnings call for Uber, and they actually beat expectations. Now, is that normal for a company to beat on expectations and for it to continue to sell off? Only if there's an underlying potential problem. And that really, at the end of the day, is the number of shares. We are talking about billions and billions of dollars that are going to be available to basically be traded on the open market, which is kind of scary to think, right? We've only had 20% of the shares available to trade and float, and there's 80% more that can be traded. It's a little scary. But with that being said, one of my big principles that I'm going to be doing with Uber is I'm not going to be buying right away. I'm going to wait for the uptrend, gonna wait for the confirmation. Yes, this is one that I would love to load up on, not only for a swing trade, but for a long-term investment, you guys. As you know, I'm a big believer in Tesla. I'm a big believer in the autonomous and electric car industry and where it's going. Uber has had a lot of good stuff going on with their Volvo partnership and some of their autonomous driving features as well. If you own Tesla and Uber, it is my personal opinion that you own some of the most dominant and prominent players that will be in the autonomous vehicle space over the next 5 to 10 years. So I think it's super promising. But with that being said, we're currently sitting at levels right around $28 a share. We've sold off from levels of around $31, $32 over the past few days. And we very easily could see shares in the $25 range, maybe even lower. And I know you're going, why would executives want to sell this low? Simply put, they don't want to be over invested and have all their eggs in one basket. A lot of these silicone tech, super smart engineers left their salary paying jobs at other companies to take an equitable stake in a company, and they need to cash out, they need to re-diversify and find other companies so that all their eggs are not in one basket. Doesn't mean Uber is a bad company, it just means that people need to diversify. So long story short, what will I be doing? I'm going to be watching this stock very heavily. Anything down here under $28 is a buying range for me. I would love to maybe start taking a small position in my long-term investment account anywhere around that $25 range. But as I said before, this is one of those that I do not want to be catching a falling knife. I want to be very conservative in this. I want to really watch this play out, and I want to be a smart investor. Don't we all? Duh, Cameron. What the freak's wrong with you? I know, dude. I wasn't being serious. All right, can we get back to Young Money Investments? Yeah, bro, you got this. And you guys, the last stock that I want to talk about today that I plan on taking a little bit of a short position in is none other than AMD. Now, AMD is one of those companies that makes for the perfect quintessential swing trade stock. Why do I say that? Let's look at the charts. As you can see from the charts here, AMD has had a terrific run ever since about early October. As we can see from early October, we had a run up here of roughly about 28, 25 or so, all the way up here to highs of about 37.18 today. That's about a 31% run, only getting helped out by earnings here. Obviously, through this run, we have seen it break through its level of upper resistance here, roughly right at about 34.60 or so. Now, with that being said, this is going to be just a temporary short, no more than 1 to 2 days, usually because of the fact that AMD is a beast. And when I say beast, I mean it is absolutely a beast. Normally, I would not advocate shorting a company that over the past 3 years has ran from $6.22 all the way to highs of $37.18, returning a profit of 477%. But as I said previously, RSI has been very overextended, and any time in the past here where we have seen this RSI get overextended, we have seen a pullback every single time, except for this little time right here. Not really much of a pullback. But anytime we're up in the 80s, we usually see some sort of pullback. And as you know, my style, you guys, is to be conservative. I am really more of a conservative trader to an extent, right? I got a few plays that are a little bit more aggressive. Shorting definitely is by no means a lackadaisical experience. But with that being said, this is just one of those trades that I believe it's overbought, overextended, too much hype. People love AMD. Today it was one of the stocks with the most volume traded. I was able to get in and short at about 36.90 and ride this sucker down to the close, where we saw this thing absolutely just tank. Now, overall, what is my sentiment on the market? My sentiment is that I believe that we may still continue to see this market push up for maybe another week or so. There is a lot of bullish things that are going on right now in the markets that will continue to catalyze the growth of the markets. We are most definitely due for a pullback, and because of that, I'm going to be very cautious. That is one of the reasons why a lot of the plays that I'm talking about today are companies that are already beat down, that really, even if we hit, some sort of a pullback, these companies are pretty beat down. You're still getting them at astronomically discounted prices, and because of that, you're mitigating your risk, and should also be smashing the thumbs up button because I'm trying to help. But if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. Just remember that the thumbs up button's down there. I appreciate it. All right, you guys, and that is it. I hope you found these stocks entertaining, helpful. If you have some other stocks that are on watch or on radar, a couple of the other ones that I've been trading this week, in the past couple weeks, have been ticker symbol OLED, FDX, also known as FedEx. We've talked and traded Walgreens, WBA. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Dexcom, and Dexcom is announcing earnings here this week on Wednesday. That is one of my companies that I really do like for a long-term trade. I'm hoping that they drop on earnings. If they don't, dang it, I won't be able to pick up any more, but I do see this probably going up. So especially into next year when they release their G8 sensor, it's going to be a beast of a diabetic sensor. And another couple that we've also been trading has been EA. Overstock is going to be interesting to watch. That one is going to have earnings as well this week. Pay attention to that. That is a symbol or a ticker that has been beat up so bad over the past several months. Keep an eye on all those stocks, and I cannot wait to catch you in next month, December. Stock watch, or stocks to watch. Can't wait to talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.